pull this thing apart, see if there's a soul in there. First trailer for Ghost in the Shell starring Scarlett Johansson has come out. I'm not going to talk about the racial casting. I did a full video about that. If you want to know my opinions, you can check that out. So I'm not even addressing it here. I'm only talking about this trailer and the impression it left on me. And honestly, I'm going to warn you up front, by and large, I'm going to be talking about my worries, concerns, and things about this that I don't like. Now, that said, this is not a bad trailer. And if I were seeing it in a vacuum without the baggage of knowing and loving the original anime as well as standalone Complex, then I probably would be very happy with what I was seeing. But because I have that baggage, because I know the original film, and I know Innocence, and I know standalone Complex very well, and like all of those very well, what I'm seeing in this that is diverging from that, or layering in things, or imitating too much in some cases, that's all stuff that are all red flags for me. Now, again, if you might have guessed from what I named already, my main knowledge of Ghost in the Shell is from the anime works. I have not read the original manga, although I am planning to get around to it very soon. I also have not seen all of the newer stuff. I haven't seen the new anime movie. I haven't seen all of Arise. I saw the first one, didn't love it. So that's where I'm coming at this thing from. Now, visually, most of it looks really good. I like the feel of the shots. They're slow, they're deliberate. It doesn't look to be cut heavy. Now that I like. I like them adopting that more methodical approach, because a very easy way to screw up this story is to focus in too much on the action, and then it basically just becomes The Matrix. The action in Ghost in the Shell has always been very good, but it's also been very deliberately paced. It's not paced like an action movie. It's got too much thought, too much going on behind the scenes, too much talking, but when the action scenes are there, they're great. And that is the general vibe I got off this trailer. So that part is good. Scarlett Johansson looks to be doing fine with the Major as she's written, but I'll kind of come back to that. And I really like those sort of kabuki looking makeup thing. I like that kind of came apart, got spidery. That was a cool thing. But the first thing that sort of triggered my, I don't know about that, was seeing the Major. She took off her cloak and she had the skin tight flesh tone thing. And that was the first thing I was like, you should have altered that more. Because in my opinion, at least, the skin tight flesh tone thing, it worked in the anime. It's not working for me here. And if they were going to keep the skin tight thing, I wish they hadn't have made it flesh tone. And that's one of a couple of things, along with the look of Bato and his eyes, that I think just doesn't work as well in live action. Yes, you can translate it accurately, and I think they have in both cases with the look for the Major in that suit and with Bato's eyes. But looking at them, I'm like, that's not pleasing for me to look at. It's not working. Those were my first red flags. The other ones came up after, as it was going along, and we started to get certain things laid over in the voiceover. Now, before I dig into this, I will add the caveat that it is possible that this trailer is not completely accurate, that there are overlaid lines that may not even appear in the movie, that they may be putting, they may be breaking things down and oversimplifying it for the purposes of a trailer in order to get butts and seats. I accept that all that is possible, but I'm not gonna judge my opinion of this film based off what I think is different about the trailer. I'm gonna judge the trailer itself and what they actually put in front of me. That's what they gave me, that's what I'm gonna judge, and at this point, I'm gonna take them at their word that this is an accurate representation of the film. So based on that, first thing that was said that made me go was when the woman said to the Major, "You're the first of your kind." I'm like, wait, what? I can't remember if that ever came up as being part of her lore, that like she was one of the first full body sort of things. But even if she was, she's not unique at the time this story is taking place. She's not supposed to be. That put me on high alert. And then once I was on high alert, I got really, really unnerved as the thing progressed. And we got this vibe of things said by the villain and things said by the Major that puts her in this questioning phase. Now, she should be questioning, but she should be questioning grand philosophical ideas. What is a soul? Do I have one? Did I ever have one? Did I lose it as I became more and more physically mechanical? Do I still retain that? Can it be, can it move? Can it transfer? What is the nature of being? She should be asking all of this. Unfortunately, the questions she's asking in this trailer are, who am I? Where did I come from? And that's really boiling it down. That's oversimplifying. That's basically turning the Major into Jason Bourne, and I don't like that. And that kind of got re-emphasized when the villain went, they didn't save you, they stole you or trapped you, or whatever it is he said, basically implying that there's some sort of conspiracy behind her creation, and like there's some part of her history that she's not allowed to remember. And I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the Major's past. I don't want a mystery of her past. I want to know her future. I want to know the trajectory that she's on. I want to know where the questions that she's asking about the very nature of existence are leading her in her evolution as a character and as a physical embodiment and as a mind. That's what I want. I don't want to get hung up on how she already got to where she is now. If you want to set the thing further back and build up towards her asking those big questions, that's fine and that's valid. And I actually think in terms of franchising building, that would make a lot more sense. Put her sort of more in the state that she was in Standalone Complex, and then over time bring her forward to where she's really questioning the way she was in that original 90s film. But instead, I'm getting this conspiracy. They're hiding her past from her vibe. And that is such a derivative oversimplification of the questions that she is supposed to be asking about herself and about the world. And I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Again, I will cop to the possibility that maybe it's only oversimplified for the trailer and it won't be in the film. But again, I'm going to judge what they gave me. What they gave me is oversimplified to a point that has me really, really nervous. So high marks for the visuals overall, excepting the couple little things that I pointed out, but visually I think it's going to be great. I was never worried about the visual presentation. I was sure it was going to look great. I think the director is a very good visual storyteller, but my concerns from the very beginning, I said in the very first video I ever made related to this, when they first cast Scarlett Johansson way back before everyone lost their mind over that fact, I said way back then that my concerns are all about how they're going to handle the story, and those concerns are not waylaid by this trailer at all. In fact, it seems to be confirming a lot of my fears. So there's my thoughts on the first full Ghost in the Shell trailer. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, drop something down in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitter at Council of Geeks. Give a listen to the Council of Geeks podcast available on iTunes and Stitcher. And until next time, this council is adjourned.